Call this meeting of the Sheffield Board of Selectmen to order for, is it Monday? Monday, November 18th at 7 p.m. Our first item on the agenda is a tax classification hearing. Tammy is with us tonight. Tammy?
Good evening. So tonight's hearing requires the Select Board to adopt a single tax rate, which all taxes of classes of property will, at their full and fair cash value, or adopt a minimum residential factor by reducing the share of the residential and open space levy by shifting those taxes to the commercial, industrial, and personal property, establishing two tax rates, one for residential and open space, and a second higher rate for the commercial, industrial, and personal property. Another purpose is to consider discounts or exemptions for open space, the residential exemption or a small commercial exemption, which would establish split rates that would result in higher tax rate for non-qualifying property owners. Regardless of the option you choose, the tax levy remains the same. The tax levy for fiscal '25 is $10,847,189.74. The taxable valuation is $894,982,651. The tax rate is calculated by dividing the tax levy by the total evaluation of the taxable property, and this calculates a single tax rate of $12.12 per $1,000 of valuation. This is an increase of 37 cents from last year. The excess levy capacity is the difference between the maximum allowable levy and the amount levied. The amount of additional monies in the town is allowed to raise through taxation but chooses not to. This year's excess levy capacity is $2,334,244.26. Historically, the Select Board has adopted a single tax rate, affirming the apportionate share of the tax levy between all classes of property and not to a particular class or group. And the assessors have always recommended a single adoption of the tax rate for all classes of property. Any questions?
Questions?
I do not have any questions.
Thank you for all of this work, Tammy
Oh, you're welcome.
and Lou.
I would make a motion that Sheffield adopt a single tax rate as we have previously.
I would second that motion.
Motion made and seconded for the town to continue with the single tax rate as we have in the past. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Thanks.
Thank you very much.
That's a lot of information.
It is a lot of information.
But we're right on target.
You are right on
We
target.
are right on target.
Yes, yes. From all of our special town meetings and what was anticipated the tax rate going up to, and we came under that.
I'm
So-
really happy to see that.
Yep.
That's,
We're always being, trying to budget conservatively, and we have, and it just shows, yeah.
yep,
Good.
great, thank you.
Thank you.
To Rhonda and to you, because I know a lot of this is your hard work on the budget. Very appreciative. Okay, item number 2 is approval of meeting minutes, and it looks like we have 2 sets.
I'll make a motion to approve both sets, October 28th and November 4th, 2024.
I will second that.
Motion made and seconded, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to recuse myself on the 28th, Ellen.
Oh, right.
I believe I was absent for that meeting because of my surgery. Okay. Item number 3 is discussion and action regarding the Regional Transportation Advisory Committee. What is that?
So this is a committee
Oh,
that you
yes.
Okay.
We need
The light bulb.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, we need representation. And I think what we need is just I think Sari has been our regular regional transportation. No.
No, that's
Renee.
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 This is the agreement with Great Barrington for the microtransit program. Okay.
I'm
So
sorry.
Renee has served as a representative. So they've sent out a new charter, and they have changed it to allow employees. Before, employees were not allowed to serve on that. So you can appoint an employee of the town if anybody is willing. And so it's made, well, we have one that's willing.
We do?
We do. So it's made up of the towns of Egremont, Great Barrington, Monterey, New Marlborough, Sheffield, Stockbridge, and West Stockbridge. Although Great Barrington is in charge of it, this is an advisory committee to Great Barrington. They have the final say. Kathy Loring has offered to do it if there was nobody else on the board or anybody else that wanted to, especially since she does the transportation program here. She thought that the two of them, it would be
Right.
interesting
be,
to have a
it's-
handle on both of them.
How did we get so lucky? Are either of you dying to serve in this?
I-
I would
not
like to
gonna
make a
fight
motion
Kathy
to
for
accept
it.
Kathy Loring's.
And I will second that.
Motion made and seconded to appoint Kathy Loring to the Regional Transportation Advisory Committee. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I don't know why that was so confusing to me. I guess because there wasn't a Berkshire in front of it. That's really what confused me. Oh, boy. Item number 4, discussion and possible action regarding, regarding select board licensing fees. So, these are the recommended licensing fees.
These are your current licensing fees. I don't recommend that you increase them. I don't see a need to increase them at this point.
Okay.
As the new person on the board, I might have to ask what automatic amusement device is. But I'm a little nervous to ask, but
It might be gaming.
that's what I assumed it is.
It's a poker machine, it's a slot machine.
Okay,
That does leave a lot of room for imagination.
yeah. I assumed that it was some kind of,
So I'll announce that the fees are currently for general licenses, lodging house $68, antique and second-hand goods is $55, auctioneer is $38, Class 1 motor vehicle sales is $93, Class 2 motor vehicle sales is $102, Class 3 motor vehicle sales is $127. In holders are $102, entertainment $34. Storage of inflammable materials, $17 for 10,000 gallons, $1.70 for every 1,000 gallons over that. I interpreted that well, good job. Automatic amusement device, $34, and livery license is $25. Alcohol beverage licenses are at all alcohol beverages inn and hotel, $927. All alcohol beverages package store, $709. All alcohol beverages restaurants, $927. Wine and malt alcoholic beverages for inn and hotel, $490. Wine and malt alcoholic beverages for restaurant, $490. Wine and malt alcoholic beverages package store, $650. Farmer Series pouring permit, $178. And 1 day all alcohol beverages, $59. Blanket 1 day club license, $1. And late fees will be charged after January 1st, 2025. That says 2023.
Because you're looking at last year's schedule.
Yeah, $50. So I'll accept the motion to accept those.
and in holders, does that include Airbnb as well, or does that not?
No.
So there's no fee or licensing for being an Airbnb?
No.
Okay, is that sort of standard protocol around other states and
We
towns as well?
certainly talked about registering and keeping track of the Airbnbs, but we're not set up to do that
Okay.
at this point.
Thank you.
So I'll make a motion that we continue the same fees as we have in the prior year for our licenses.
I second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
That was a quiet aye, Lee. Are you there?
That's all I was just looking
That's
at.
fine. Item number 5 is action regarding remote participation for board members. I know we have something here on that.
Do you want me to read it?
Yeah, would you? That'd be lovely.
The Sheffield Select Board requests that all committees meet in person when possible, with the understanding that despite best efforts to do so, there may be times when meeting remotely or in a hybrid session may be necessary in order for a committee to attain the quorum necessary to meet, to include consultants or participants who may not be otherwise accessible, or to act upon issues set forth before the committee in a timely manner as defined by the bylaws of the committee. Taking this into consideration, the Select Board has deemed it acceptable to meet remotely or with remote access when necessary. At the start of such meetings, notice should be given of an alternative time, stating details of date, hour, and meeting place or platform for continuation in the case remote access be interrupted or if internet or telecommunication connections fail. With the exception of executive session meetings, all meetings of a public body, whether fully in person, remotely accessed, or a hybrid of remote and in-person, should be open to the general public in accordance with the rules and regulations of the open meeting law of the state of Massachusetts. Meeting remotely or remote access is defined as access through the internet, video conferencing, or other video technology, which allows a person to view and then, when permitted or required, to participate in a meeting of a public body.
Is that a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you for working on that, Lee.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it greatly. Item number 6, discussion regarding planning board vacancy. I think we've announced this before. We had a member of the planning board resign a few weeks back. We're trying to find someone who's willing to be appointed to that board until the May election, when the seat will be on the ballot, should someone wish to run for it. I know the planning board has announced this a few times, but we're still looking for someone interested in serving on that board.
I'd also like to iterate again, as I think I did at the last meeting, it's a really nice opportunity for somebody to step into the planning board who might be thinking that they're interested in it and maybe didn't want to run for a full term.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity to try it on before you get elected to it. It gives you an opportunity to see what actually goes on and whether or not it's your cup of tea. So if you're interested, please submit a letter to the Board of Selectmen, to care of Rhonda LeBombard at the Town Hall. Item number 7, award heavy equipment rental. So it looks like we have some bids here.
This was all from just one company, correct? We don't have any other bids.
One single bid.
We only got one bid. We only received one bid.
Okay.
Appears reasonable to me.
Yes.
I'll make a motion that we accept
The
the
bid.
bid from Joe Wilkinson Excavating that's attached.
I'll second that.
Do you want me to read the amounts?
I think that you
Probably should. Yep. So the cost for a 7,500-pound excavator with a licensed, experienced operator with thumbs is $140 per hour. A 28,000-pound excavator with licensed, experienced operator with thumbs is $150. I'm so
We're not discriminating against the thumb list, let's just make that clear, okay?
Just for clarification, a thumb is the attachment that goes on to a excavator.
I'm so sorry. It's just,
It seemed like odd placement to me of the term.
it's $155.
We're not discriminating against fingers, it's just, they're not required, it's the thumbs.
Attachments furnished for that 28,000-pound excavator with the hammer is $175 per hour. 46,000-pound excavator with licensed experienced operator with thumbs is $160. Oh my God, I can't believe
A
I
7-yard dump body truck with CDL license experiencing operator is $115 per hour.
Yeah, sure, you read the one that
A
doesn't have any.
15-yard dump body truck with CDL license experienced operator is $125. I'm going to let her continue to laugh. A 7-ton bulldozer with licensed experienced operator is $135. A 10-ton vibrating roller with licensed experienced operator is $125, so I got one too. Power box with licensed experienced operator is $125 an hour. A 30,000-pound road grader with licensed experienced operator is $125 an hour. A chipper with licensed experienced operator is not applicable. A loader with licensed experienced operator is $150, and a backhoe with licensed experienced operator is $100 per hour. A laborer comes at the cost of $80 per hour.
So there's been a motion made and seconded to accept those bids. All those in favor?
Put up your thumb. Aye.
Aye.
With thumbs.
Wow. This is what happens when you don't do your homework beforehand. You're taken by surprise. You know, when I was learning to be a tax professional, they would say, when I would ask a question, the teacher would say, read the line. Okay. Discussion and possible action regarding firefighter appointments. I got so many pieces of paper here now that So we have two, they're just clamoring to come and be on our fire department. We are so lucky.
We are fortunate.
We have two people wanting appointment to the fire department. One is Matt Pesner, who is an equipment operator living at Brush Hill in Great Barrington. And the other is Samantha Ulrich, who is a student, lovely young lady. Both of them have been referred by the Vigilant, or at least they have good references from the fire department. So I'll take Matt first. Motion to accept Matt Pesner.
I'll make a motion to accept Matt Pesner as a 1-year probationary fireman.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And Samantha Ulrich.
I'll make a motion to make her a 1-year, what was the next term? Probationary firefighter.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. We're now to board member items. Lee?
I don't have anything other than to thank everyone for voting in the last election.
Bob?
Just wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving.
I'll just take this time to indicate that we are still working on getting bids from the contractors for the repair of the Kellogg Road Bridge. We're hoping to have those this week. Say a little prayer that it comes in with the within the guidelines that the state has given us as a reasonable method. And I also wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. Town administrator items.
Oh, can I make one other comment? The police department is still collecting turkeys, and you can drop them off. And I don't know the drop-off times. I think you're supposed to call the police department, but they collect turkeys to give out for families for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I read yesterday, they have, I think, half of what they're looking for. They're trying to collect 45 turkeys, and I heard that yesterday they had half.
And apparently it doesn't matter whether or not they have thumbs, they will accept all turkeys. So we should be good to go.
I will never forgive you for that. A public comment, Pat.
Pat Levine, 261 East Main Street, speaking based on my chairmanship of the Board of Health. The board, since it's on the agenda that you have approved for remote meetings, the Board of Health has the sorry, I have a head cold, has the opportunity to purchase for the town's use an OWL video conference system, a large screen, and a wheelable monitor support for that screen from a grant. The question is, will Town Hall store this? It would be available to all committees and commissions to be used in the building, but it could be used downstairs, upstairs, whatever.
I think that would be.
I have not yet discussed it with the Board of Health. The opportunity only just arose. It's almost a done deal, however, if they would agree to it, and there's no point in them agreeing to it if you would not allow it.
That is a very generous, because we've been pricing the owl, and that is a very generous opportunity for us.
Really exciting.
Only one question. Is there a match for this?
No.
No match?
No,
You don't need anything from us except an approval.
that's correct.
Motion made.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Pat.
That is
Well,
great.
and you will have to store this.
Yeah, no
Yes.
problem.
Okay.
Yeah, we got several corners in this room that can accommodate it.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah, actually, last week we were looking for a big screen for a training, and we didn't have one available, so it answers that question immediately. Thank you. Sorry.
Sari Hoy, 60 Main Street. I have a couple of questions, because with the bids for the bridge, what can you tell us about what changed in your thinking about how to go ahead with the bridge work?
We announced at our last meeting, Rhonda and I met with DOT, was 2 weeks ago now, and our meeting with them, they indicated to us that they felt that the repairs could be made for $100,000 to $125,000, where our engineers who normally take care of our bridges had given us somewhere between $400,000 and $500,000. That money was not available. $400,000 to $500,000 was not available. We did feel that $100,000 to $125,000 was something that we could take from the ARPA funds.
And
Thank you.
additionally, I'm sorry, I know you were ready to continue. It would not impact where we sat on the
That
list.
was my next
That was-
question,
that
so
was
that's a
the
huge
motivation for making
thing.
it happen.
Okay,
because
I'm
we could
sorry,
have
I
a
missed the
short-term
last
solution.
meeting.
It wasn't
Without holding
actually
things
our
up.
change in perspective. It was a change from the state.
State's point of
Yeah.
view.
That's
Yeah.
great. I'm sorry, I missed the last
I
meeting.
think there was enough pressure put upon the state between at least the two towns.
Yeah.
That removing us or taking us off the tip list to have the bridge replaced was something we were very concerned about
Right.
doing, because it went from, to a $5 million plus project.
Right.
That would have been on us, and now the state has changed their viewpoint on
And
it.
they have
Fantastic.
allowed us to use an emergency declaration to repair it. Where
Right.
before, we did not have that option.
Thank you. And then I was just curious about number 3, the Regional Transportation Advisory Committee. I think, Rhonda, you mentioned micro trails. Is it specifically about trails, or what?
Microtransit.
Micro transit, like bikes and things like, is it?
No,
No,
it's
not
like the
not that-
van that you can call.
Not that micro.
Not that.
Wanted to know. Yeah, okay, thank you.
I have a quick question. Barb Reeves, 571 Berkshire School Road. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have never been to the police station.
Really?
I have no idea where the entrance that I should take my thumbless turkeys to.
The front door.
The front door,
That
around the
faces
front,
Yes.
and up there, and knock on the door
You can open the door,
and go in.
and
Now,
then there'll be a little button next to the door that goes into the
Okay.
actual police
The
department.
next question is, must these turkeys be fresh or frozen?
They're freezing them.
Frozen.
They are freezing them, so it would be preferable to have them frozen already.
Yes.
Thank you.
And there's a Tom Thumbless joke there to go.
Yeah,
with.
okay.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Oh, geez, Rachel, be careful.
That's all I need to follow. Rachel Cunningham, 371 Berkshire School Road. As a follow-up to the September 3rd meeting, where Mr. Santos gave the presentation on the regional EMS, you talked about designating the fire chief, but actually understand now, thanks to Rhonda today, it's the police chief who is the representative. So I had a great meeting with him today. And I still, to follow up, I had offered my hand to volunteer to assist him, any data collection, any community outreach. So he agreed to take me on as his volunteer on that project. So there'll be some work that we already discussed today from a very productive meeting. And I think with Kathy's input, and also another community group that I'm involved with, I think you'll see some results soon. But I just thought I'd follow up. I never heard back from Jim. I emailed him that night, so we have to reach out and get our hands on the feasibility study. At this point, the chief said he's not sure what the status is, so I don't know if the town was ever sent a feasibility study on that or not.
I don't have the answer to that question.
Yeah, I don't think anything's been done. So anyway, I'm following up on that.
If it had come, we'd have probably been aware of it.
And posted it on the website, right? Yeah. So that's my update.
Okay.
And a quick question on the bridge. Is it a single lane? That article in the Berkshire Eagle was quite good, where they talked about the two towns. And one of the options was to spend money on a single lane as opposed
That's
to...
Brookside. We're talking about Kellogg Road.
Okay, so you're doing both for the 120?
Brookside is not us.
No,
That's
I understand
The
that.
Kellogg Road Bridge,
I understand that.
It would be both directions.
the Kellogg Road Bridge requires a repair that would allow both lines to be open.
Both, thank you, that's my question.
We don't have the option of going one direction or the other.
Oh, and just as a follow-up on the license fee for Airbnb, that's a fantastic revenue generator. I understand there's management involved, but part of the licensing fee would be to go to a staffer to handle that. So, and I'd be happy to do the research on that. I know a lot of communities across the country do it, large and small. But the license fee goes to managing and administering it.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna take that, we'll take that under advisement at this stage of the game. I'm not gonna make a commitment on that.
Actually,
Yeah, no,
we
I'm not
appreciate your information on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I already have, I've done that research for another community. It's a good revenue generator.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Anybody else? Motion to adjourn.
So move.
All those in favor? Aye. Thanks for coming.